Everybody, and welcome to Ask IC Google Hangout, the second one. And I'm really hoping we don't have another Google issue, so I'm apologizing beforehand. Should we have any issues, I will get back on right away. So I have my assistant Kimberly with me. She's the one signed on. So if there's any drop, we'll still be live, and I'll be back. I'm not sure what's going on. But thank you very much for joining me for this Hangout. I appreciate you taking the time, and that means you are interested in your personal branding. Joining me for this Hangout. I appreciate. Kimberly, do we have reverb? Are you there? Okay. So today I would love to focus on personal branding, which is one of what I talked about on the first Google Hangout, but because of all the glitches we had, I couldn't get into it. So I really want to first introduce myself to you. My name is Yetunde Taiwo. I'm a fashion and entertainment entrepreneur, and I like to say I've been doing PR since I was 6 years old. But professionally, I've been doing PR since I was 18. I am now 32, so that's been a long time. I started my PR career at CBS as an intern, and then later moved into being a reporter. That's a totally different world, but part of it is doing PR and personal branding. So I got to understand what personal branding was based on that. And then I moved to West Palm Beach, Florida, and I did PR for a law firm. So I've always just been in public relations. And then somehow, thanks to my friend Jen, I ended up in PR in the classical music industry. So for 3 years, I immersed myself in PR. So from Wynton Marsalis to the American Ballet Theater, to Savion Glover, to Lang Lang, to Itzhak Perlman. I was responsible for the public relations and marketing when they came to Miami between 2006 and 2009. Now, I've always had ICPR on the back end, and so eventually I decided I wanted to go full-time, and this was in 2009. So when I decided to go full-time, the first way I got my clients was by offering a free service. I said, if for 3 months you sign up with me, I don't know if you guys can see me. I'm having some kind of issue right now on my Google.
Yeah, we see you.
We see you. Hey, Obi.
Hey.
I'm having another issue. Kimberly?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm going to try to log back in. I'm not sure what's going on, if anyone can see me.
Obi.
Hi, Kimberly.
How are you? You weren't kidding about the earrings. They look awesome.
Oh, thank you. You look great.
Yeah, thank you very much. Just waiting for Yetunde to join us.
Okay.
But I do say this is one thing I love about Yetunde. Even though we are having some technical difficulties, she will not give up. So,
oh, yeah, she'll come back in.
Please be patient. We'll be moving shortly. In the meantime,
Okay.
Obi, what have you been up to? What have you made any progress? Did you take anything from the last hangout? Did you implicate anything we talked about?
Actually, yeah, I've actually been busy taking exams. So most of the things, one of the things I want to ask today will be some kind of marketing strategy for my new business. So I'd like to talk about that today. But I've been taking exams, and I'm glad I passed. I'm done with that. So now it's time to get to work.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And she's back.
oh my God, that's it. That's it for me. I promise I am not using Google anymore. Google, I am obsessed, and you are messing up my PR conference. But I will get back to it. So in getting my first clients, I had told them, I said, I'll do your PR for you for free for 3 months. If you like what I do, and I promise certain things that I think I could do.
Oh, God.
told the client, if you like what I do, you have to back pay me, and you have to become my client for a year. Well, it sort of worked out, and so I've done ICPR since then. And I find that I've always been in fashion and entertainment, so most of my PR is focused on clients that are either designers or actresses or singers or personality type people. So what's happened now is I'm slowly getting into personal branding, which is people branding, because I find that I enjoy exploring people's personalities and having the right logo and the right color express who they are. And because the economy is changing, and because most people are going to entrepreneurship, it makes sense for my business to cater to branding individuals. Something as simple as doing the right photo shoot and picking the right colors for you can affect how people respond to your brand. So I've taken a personal interest in personality PR, and this is why Ask Icy was sort of launched to sort of kick off that passion. So I still do general PR, but Ask Icy is really focused on personality PR and giving tips to small business owners on how you can brand your business until you grow and need a PR person like me. Because you don't always need one right away. Sometimes you have to grow your brand first, and then when you need a public relations agent, you get one. But most people end up jumping the gun and going before then, and then you spend a lot of money because PR costs money. So let's get right into it. With personality PR, I think the first thing you have to know is, what are you interested in? What are you trying to sell? What is it that you want people to buy? Why should I be interested in you? Are you selling yourself as an expert in something? Are you selling a product? Are you thinking of bringing a product into the market or a service? Whatever it is, you have to have an intention of what is the purpose of this thing that I want people to know me about. Is it a money crunch situation? Do you have to come up with a certain amount of funds in a certain amount of time? If that is the goal, just be clear on that. That way your strategies will support you as opposed to lying to yourself or what you think is possible. So being clear of why you want this new experience is very important for your personality branding. That's the first part. And then you want to go into your name. So are you going to use your name? Are you going to use, come up with a name that means something to you? Are you going to come up with a name that has nothing to do with you? That is very important, because the right name can make you your money, period. So if you come up with the right name that is catchy, and one of those names where you say it and you're like, oh, it clicks, you have a eureka moment. You want that kind of moment. Or if your name is super unique, you want to brand that as well. So thinking of the name is a very important part of this process, because if you do it right, you're going to brand yourself for a long time. So you don't want to have to do it twice. So take your time to brainstorm. And when brainstorming for my clients, we usually use different languages. We use animals. So we ask them, what kind of animals describe who you are? What kind of words or adjectives describe who you are? Things like that would help us decide on what name combinations to think about for your name. So brainstorm different ways. Google something in China. Google something in South Africa. Let something else other than where you are inspire you to come up with a name that would work for your brand. And then you want to think of your target audience. So you've decided, all right, I want to develop a shoe line. Who's going to buy your shoes? Now, I've had somebody call me before, and this is a consulting, circumstance, and they wanted to start a clothing line. And I said, what's the demographic? And they said, well, everybody. Well, that's not specific, and that doesn't help you, because when you have a target market, everything would be aligned to strategically market to them. I don't care what designer you pick in this current time. All those designers have a demographic, either 25 to 44, or excuse me, if they have a junior line, it's like 14 to 21. There's always a demographic. So it's very important that you're clear on what your demographic is. And one of the ways you can track that, if you haven't launched your product yet, is you can track it through your YouTube. So say you do YouTube videos. What you can do is check your statistics. It'll tell you how many people are watching it. So sometimes that'll help you tell what demographic you need to be targeting, as opposed to the one you think would be interested in your product. So sometimes looking at what you already have, even your Facebook page gives you those kind of breakdowns. So you already have tools in place right now, thanks to social media, that can help you come up with your target audience if you don't have one, if you don't know what it is. but it's very important that you at least have an idea of your target audience so that any campaign or any marketing efforts you come up with caters to them. And so it's very targeted, and you're more likely to have repeat customers, people that keep coming back to buy, because that's what you want. So you can have 1,000 new customers, but if they don't come back, it's a waste of time. You want repeat clients. And so when you have a targeted audience and targeted market, you can keep marketing different products to that same target, and they will, you know, come and patronize you because your strategies sort of work in alignment with what they want at that time. And then you also want to think, well, where are you going to sell this product? Are you going to sell it online? Are you going to sell it at the stores? Are you going to sell it in online stores or your own e-commerce? You want to be clear about where your storefront is, even if it's an online storefront. And so you can do both. So being clear about if you have a product or service, okay, I can't afford a store right now, so I can do it online. It's more affordable these days to do things online. So put that in mind when you're coming up with a product or service. So it's not always products. If you're going to be a motivational speaker, that means your storefront is online. And you can be in front of people when you have live seminars. So that's always a way for you to sell your product, but you want to know where you're going to sell. That's important. So you can't, it's not enough that you have a product. You have to know, where am I going to sell it? And be clear on that so that you do things that will support that platform. And then the last question that you need to ask yourself when you're starting is, how will I package what I'm selling? A huge part of public relations is packaging. That's what we do. And so we hope for most publicists that you're coming with the goods. You're coming with the product and the service. We just make you look so good that people want to buy your product. So it is to your benefit that whichever public relations person or company you're working with, that you give them the tools they need to help you, because these people, we are skilled at making you look good. That's what we're trained for. That's what our experience is in. Excuse me. So we will help you look good. You now have to deliver and give us a product that is packaged right, and we can help you with that, which means if you're coming up with a skincare line, you want to think about what color is going to attract people, what packaging. Am I going to do a clear bottle? Am I going to do a black bottle, a white bottle, whatever it is? That's part of what you work with your management team on and your PR team, because there's much data online and in the libraries that will tell you what people respond to based on color. And so it is important to have your packaging on point. So, and when you have your packaging on point, your service or product has to match that, because if not, then you're lying to people. Or you have this great image and then you're not making revenue because your product doesn't match your image. So it's very important that when you're matching yourself up with a PR company, or you decide you want to go solo, that whatever you're delivering matches what image you're sending out. So if it's a grunge look, because some people have, you know, products that is the graphic tees, you know, it's a streets down to earth look. Most of those people, if you notice, their branding matches their look. It's something like that. That's simple. Whatever you're putting out there has to match whatever service you're providing to the audience. So that's very important. Your packaging without quality is useless.
There it goes again. She'll be back.
Well, that was longer. Woohoo! Yay! We lasted, what, 10 minutes, 7 minutes? That was awesome.
Proud of us.
So I have developed something that I'm excited about, and some people don't have this in their home. And if you don't, you should. It's a first aid kit. Now, I grew up with a mother that was very protective. So we had first aid kits in like 3 different corners in the home. So I thought I would help you think of your own PR first aid kit. So I'm calling this the ICY First Aid Kit. What do you need to get started on a quick go? Like, you have this idea in your head and you know that if you stay too long, you're gonna not be motivated about it and you just want to do it right away. So the things I would recommend for you that you need to have in your first aid kit, which is, you know, quick band-aids to a great idea that has come to you and you don't have the time to waste, but you want to put something out there so that that energy is out there and you can start working fully after that on your project. First, you want to decide on a name. So that's like your quick little band-aid. What's the name I'm going to call myself? When you decide on the name, so you call it John Smith Automobile. So you've decided on a name and you've decided, okay, I'm going to write this name this way, John Smith, and then automobile on the bottom. So I would suggest, after deciding on the name, come up with a text logo. And I say text logo because that's quicker and simpler, and it shouldn't take too much time because you're just picking the right fonts that would define your brand. And even Coca-Cola, their font is memorable. So come up with a name, come up with a logo, saying that name in a simple text format. Now, this is your first aid kit. So remember, this is not your grandiose. This is like, okay, I have an idea. I need to get it out. So please, let me just put things out there that would help me focus on this business idea. And then you want to do a photo shoot. One photo shoot. If you find a good photographer, there's wedding photographers in most places now. There's studio photographers. You can get a great photo shoot, 1 or 2 looks for $300. Find a friend that does makeup, or ask the photographer, come up with a nice package for you. And you do a photo shoot for yourself. This is personal branding now. So you do a photo shoot for yourself real quick. Make sure you feel your best. I always advise the day before a shoot, you stay away from meat and you drink a lot of water. And you sleep early because it will show up on your face. And the last thing you need in your first aid moment is taking a picture and you can't use the picture, and then you're discouraged. So come up with a name. Come up with a logo, do a photo shoot with 1 or 2 looks that you're going to use to sell yourself. And then you develop a 1-page paragraph biography that talks about you as it relates to your business. And here's why I said you as it relates to your business. Do not begin your biography with, I went to primary school at this, I used to, skip to my loo when I was 12. Like, all of that is not necessary. Your professional PR biography, PR-related biography, should be who you are professionally as it relates to this new business and how your passion for it came about. So make sure that your PR biography is relating to this new business. We don't have to hear the story about all the ways you got into this and who helped you along the way and what's all that stuff is not important. What's important is I want to read it, see how it relates to your business, and how your passion for this new business is shown in that 1-paragraph biography. And then the next thing you want to jump to after you've done that is you want to get on social media. You'd be surprised how many people are still not on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube. Do not be alarmed. There's a whole lot of people that still don't like Facebook. I used to be one of them. Still don't like Twitter and still don't like YouTube. But once you're clear on your intention for what you're using Facebook for, you can maximize the capacity for it because it's super addictive. I can tell you that right now. Social media is addictive because we're all usually on our computers, most of the time at work, but you spend time online a lot. So I say if you're going to spend time online, make sure it's productive for you and make sure whatever things you're putting out there is something that either make you revenue or enrich your life in some way that affects your business. That is very important. So if you're going to sign up for Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, make sure all those things relate to this new business. Now, remember, this is your first aid kit. So make sure it relates to this new business that you're getting into. And so your tweets should be relating to the business, maybe giving tips on automobile information that people need to know, or things that you thought but you were wrong about. Like, make it engaging and give people information that they don't know about, and that would help you retain new members and tweet other people, they'll tweet for you and all that kind of stuff. So you want to make sure your social media platforms relate to this business, not personal. If you get personal, find some way to bring it back around to what you do. That is very important because it's very easy to get personal. Social media, we're all on it. But if you do get personal, tie it to the things that are principal values for your brand, because that will affect your public relations and how people see your brand, which is what public relations is about. And then You want to have a basic website. There's nothing worse than Googling John Smith Automotive and I can't find a website. Like, I think it's just because of the generation and the year we're in. People have a panic attack. You don't have a website? Like, you can't even say that outside. Like, you don't have a website? That's unreal. So you want to make sure you have a basic website, something very simple. There's very easy ways to get websites these days for a very minimal amount. So you should consider having a website for your business. That is the thing. Those are the things that I would have in your first aid kit. So I'm going to go through this again. First, you want to decide on a name. Then you want to create a simple text logo. Then you want to do a photo shoot. Then you want to develop a paragraph of your professional biography as it relates to this business that you're going to start. Then you want to sign up for social media and make sure your social media, the information you send out, ties to this business. And then you want to have a basic website, you know, as a company front online so that people can get more information about your business online, because everybody is online these days. A whole lot, millions and millions of people are online these days. So that's the first thing of your first aid PR kit. So I hope you think about that, and if you have some business idea bubbling in you right now, start working on those things, and I guarantee you, if you're focused, you can get it all done in a week and launch your business in another week. And then you can deal with the other stuff from there. It's that simple.
Now, I have a question. Ah. She'll be back to hear my question. There she is. I have a question for you.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Okay, so if you are a young personality, how imperative is it to have a website?
It is super imperative that you have a website. And I think the challenge with a lot of people that want to brand personally is they go the personal website route, but in a personal way. Like, it doesn't come off professional depending on what you're trying to brand. So if you're let's say if you're a hostess, like you like hosting events, you know, that's a personality branding. You want to make sure your site is not just about all the parties and events you go to. You want to list your skills, your expertise, what events you've done. Even project what events you would like to do. Do a demo of something of, you know, yourself acting, interviewing some friends, and, you know, make a joke. Hi, would you hire me? I would love to interview your red carpet next event. Do things that relate to what personality you're trying to sell, so that people know you for that. And as you get better, you know, your content on your site is going to change.
Thank you.
Yeah?
I have a question.
Yes.
How important is signage for a small business that's just starting up? When I say signage, I mean, you know, the front of my window. I'm just starting this business. I'm not quite sure of the name I've given this business. Do I use a mediocre or an okay sign to get me by for now, or do I spend a lot of money in signage? So how important is signage when it comes to business?
Signage is super important based on where you're located. And I'm going to give you an example. If you know there's some high-rise buildings that have, you know, Wells Fargo on the top. Doesn't mean Wells Fargo owns the whole building. It just means Wells Fargo paid to have their logo up top. Now, the Wells Fargo might be on the second floor and it's like a 36-story building, but the placement of that signage is important. So if you're starting a business, depending on where you're located, depending on the policies around the local government area where you are, or the county, if they will let you put the sign at, say, the junction where the cars turn in, if you are allowed to do things like that, places where there's high traffic, where people can see it, if they're driving, and so maybe there's a building around where you are, where you place your sign is what's important. It's not just having the sign. So if you have your sign in the front door and people don't drop past that place, that's a waste of money. So I would suggest that you find out based on where your store location is. One, depending on how big your store is, of course you want to have a front sign, but you also want to include having a sign at the location where cars pass by, or people, there's, you know, traffic, people walk by. Have another sign there so there's something directing people to where you are. There's a mental image at least of your company name, because it doesn't always mean they'll walk there, but I guarantee you there's times when you've gone to me like, I remember that sign. There's something, you know, close to what I'm looking for, that people remember things. And so you have to put things in places where they are there so that they can remember. So signage is important, but it's only important based on what location you have the signage. So not just in front of the door of your storefront. Somewhere leading to your storefront is a great idea of where to have a signage.
Cool.
Okay, cool. So we're going to go to the second part of this, which is your PR development plan. So you've decided you want to start John Smith Automobile or OB Skincare Special Business. Now you want to come up with a PR plan. Now PR plans can be long or short. A basic PR plan will include the following. 1, your objective. What is the goal of this business? What are we trying to accomplish? 2, your basic brand analysis, which if you've gone to business school, you've heard of SWOT, which sounds like you're saying, you know, the SWAT team. But you might as well say that because it's that serious when you say SWOT. And SWOT means strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Write out your business strengths. What do you know you're so good at that no matter how many people are in the industry, you're good at it and nobody can take that away from you? Write those things down. Your weaknesses, and be sincere about them. You know, your weaknesses can be, okay, I know how to do PR, but I'm not so good with graphic design. Or I know how to do, you know, massages, but I'm not so good with knowing the ingredients and how to explain things to people. Be very clear on what your weaknesses are because it'll help you strengthen them. Your opportunities. Opportunities are, okay, you know, what are the things that are in place for me based on the economy or what's going on right now that work for me? You know, opportunity, okay, there's a auto trade show coming up. That's an opportunity. Something in my area within the next 6 months. I'm going to launch my business. You know, just think of the opportunities that are available to your business within the scope of where you are and what your goals are. And then and actually with opportunities, I always suggest for clients, you think of partnerships. Those are actually opportunities. Partner with brands that are compatible to what you're doing so that it's a win-win, 1. And 2, if they already have an audience, you're tapping into that. If you have an audience, they're tapping into it. And so
you'll be right back. Yeah. Faster and faster.
Yeah. So when you have an audience and you partner with someone, you basically tap into each other's market. So not finding competing brands, find brands that are, you know, a match for what you're doing. So you complement each other. So that way, you know, you both need each other to survive, but you can also do without each other and still be okay. And then when you're writing your plan, you want to think about write down your target audience, your age demographic, what age bracket they belong to, what income bracket if you can, because it helps you with price points and how much you're going to charge for certain things based on the people you're targeting and how much they make. So you got to think, how much can they afford? My shoes are $900. I know I'm not marketing to the working girl that is making less than 40 grand. You know, so things like that. If you can get them, find out what income bracket your target audience belongs to. So that can actually help you with your price points. And get as much information as you can get about your target audience. And then what I find is the most important part for a PR plan is your intention. What is your message? Why are you really doing this? Why should I care? Really? So if you can answer that question, then you're on the right path. So it's, okay, I love to teach people how to use the computer. Why should I care? I already know how to use a computer. And so you can now get specific and say, well, I love to teach people that are not comfortable with social media to use social media. You want to be specific, but you want to be clear on what your intention is, because it just helps you be more clear on how you're delivering it and what strategies you come up with to help whoever your target audience is. And then your how. How is your strategy? Radio, TV, print, online, special events. I can't enforce this enough. People don't think about that. Special events are a huge way to help you get your how and your whole progress about your business out there. So say, for instance, there's a skincare seminar coming up, and you know that, okay, there's going to be a market out there for people that would be interested in what you're doing, partner with the events and let them know, okay, you know what, maybe I'll help you do this. So it's not necessarily offering your service, because sometimes some people feel the competition and they're threatened by that. So in cases like that, you want to present yourself in such a way as of service. So, okay, you know what, I would love to help on the registration desk. Guess what? You get to meet a lot of people. You may be able to talk them into having your cards on the table. So you tap into that market by being of service to people. But special events are a great way to get your business out there. So find businesses, events that match your business so that you can get more publicity, because there's people at events and you want to meet the people because those are the people you're selling to. And finally, you want to track your results. So after all this work and all these things we've put together for the PR plan, you want to be able to track if what you did worked, what you put together on radio, your objective, your strengths, might have changed based on you being in the market. You want to reevaluate and see, okay, I want to be on two radio stations this month. Were you able to accomplish that? If not, what can you do to do that? I want to be in 2 online medias this month. Or next quarter, I want to make sure I'm in Essence Magazine and Vogue Magazine. Are you doing things to help you achieve those results? So you want to be able to track the results. And if it doesn't work, rewrite your PR plan again and come up with strategies and partnerships and special events that will help you achieve your goal. And so you'll be able to track your results and see how things are going. We're almost there. This is like PR 101 for all my business people and personalities and people that are going to wake up tomorrow and tell me they want to do this. And so they have a better idea of how to go about it. So once you've done your PR plan, you want to immediately find out what media is around you. So if you live in Atlanta, you want to pick up all the newspapers. There's a bunch of newspaper stands in different corners of the city. Pick up those newspapers, see what writers are in there that relate to your industry. Emails are very accessible these days. Either online or call the newspaper. They will give you the emails because editors and writers are always looking for stories. So you want to do your research first and see what different medias will be interested in your stuff. So you sort of come up with your database of contacts. And PR is about building relationships. So now you're going to start new relationships. Whether you like it or not, get comfortable until you get a PR person. Because your media people are your new best friends, because those are the people that are going to be writing about you. So you want to make sure that you build relationships with them. And then send an email and, keep it short, succinct, and let them know who you are, what you're doing, and why they should be interested in you. Leave your information and tell them you have more information for them if they want. So do not send 4 paragraphs, because I guarantee you will be deleted so quickly. You have to think how many people are emailing them. So your title of your email has to be catchy. Your email has to be short and sweet and relate to what they write about. So you can't write an accessories writer about, let's see here, dresses, because technically, it's all fashion, but she's an accessories writer, which means she's interested in accessories. Dresses is probably somebody else. Editorials is probably somebody else. So you want to make sure your email relates to the editor or the writer that you're writing to as it does to what they write about. And that's very important, because those are the people that will help you grow your business. And once you build a relationship with them, they'll keep talking about you. It's so awesome. And then you want to have a budget. Please, I don't care who tells you you shouldn't be spending on PR. I guarantee you, any company, big, small, the most money you spend is on PR and marketing. And the funny thing is, I think why a lot of people are not used to PR yet is it's hard to put the money to the PR, because if you get somebody on the cover of Vogue, somebody's bracelet got worn by Salma Hayek on the cover. Now, 5 million people might have a look at that, but doesn't guarantee all 5 million people are going to buy. So it becomes, okay, yes, you have the exposure, but doesn't necessarily mean the money is going to follow.
Uh-oh.
Hello?
Hi.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
We can't see
Yeah,
you.
but we can't see you.
Again, all right. I'm going to come back on. Give me 1 second. Yay!
There you go.
Google is not my best friend. I used to say Google is my best friend. Not anymore. I'm gonna like not talk for like 2 seconds.
You might want to start calling Google your best friend.
I know they're listening and they're mad. Okay, Google, you're my best friend for now, for the next 20 minutes. After that, not anymore. But you definitely want to have a budget for PR because it's important. You spend money to make money. I don't care what anybody tells you and how you try to shortchange or ration your costs. It takes money to make money. So you should be invested in your business, and that includes spending money on publicity and marketing, because those are the things that are going to bring you more money. So you should always have a PR and marketing budget. No matter what it is, or what budget you think you can work with, have some money set aside for PR and marketing. So here's my homework for you before we wrap up a little bit is, if during this conversation you're interested in starting a business, or all of a sudden you're sparked to do something about what you're passionate about, my homework to you is, when we get off this Google Hangout, please spend 30 minutes. Shut the computer down, shut the TV down, spend 30 minutes and write your business plan. And you can go to facebook.com/YouAskIcy, and I'm going to share the video that I did about a PR plan. So write a business plan, half an hour, it shouldn't take you that long. And so that at least give you an idea visibly. It's like pulling all your cards on the table, what your strengths are, what you're targeting, and it can help you start to plan for public relations for your product and your service, or your personal brand as you have it. So that sort of wraps up my whole conversation about personal branding and personal PR. And I segue to that to talk to you about PR Entourage, which I'm very excited about. By the end of the month, Ask ICY, and I say Ask ICY, not me, as a team. Kimberly is part of the team, and with the PR Entourage, we have 7 professionals that are basically going to be your entourage. Just think your entourage, just think your PR entourage. So you start a business and you want your PR entourage, you come to us, because we have on file, that'll be on our team, a brand strategist, a business plan expert, a social media specialist, a professional photographer, a content developer, a graphic designer, and a PR expert to help you do the things you need to do to get your business running. You have no excuse in 2013 not to brand yourself and expand what you're capable of doing with publicity. So thank you for joining me on Ask ICY's second Google Hangout. We did much better today with the Google. They got a little peeved because I didn't say best friend, but you know, it all worked out. So thank you very much for joining us. Again, log on to facebook.com/YouAskIcy and find videos there for you to watch. I will be posting the updates on the PR Entourage, and I'm so excited because this team of professionals, like, I wish I had this when I thought about having my business, because it's basically your one-stop shop for everything you need, and they'll be available to you to answer questions and help you grow your business. So I really hope you join me on this journey to grow your business in 2013 and make you revenue with publicity. Thank you very much for joining me. So,
Thank you.
Any questions? And Kimberly, can you log on to our YouTube and find out if we have any questions posted?
Yes, ma'am. Take a look.
And I'm going to log into my Facebook.
There is one question.
Okay, go ahead.
When you start a business, how to pay for PR? Do you pay per project, per month, per week? How is that broken up, and how do you go about starting that?
Okay. There's
Google is your best friend.
We're almost there. Depending on your budget, one, depending on where you are in the development process of your brand, because you know, I've actually had businesses that I've turned away because they're not ready for PR. And I could easily come up with something for them to do that would be PR worthy. But if you're not ready for PR, I'm going to let you know, because if you're still in development, I can't sell something that's not packaged to be sold. So first you want to make sure that you're packaged well enough before you approach a PR company. If not, you do the things we've talked about today first. And when you get to the stage that you need PR, believe me, instinctively, you're going to know. But when that happens, PR companies work, it really depends, because there's a lot of independent PR publicists around. So some of them do 3 months, some of them do 6 months, some of them do 9 months, some of them do 12 months. For us, we do 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. The 3 As I pick up from where I left off, the 3 months we do is usually development. So we take our time to develop a brand, and so what works out luckily for us is it's a catch-22. There's some clients that we develop where they don't need us anymore. Like they feel good about where they are and what they look like. They're like, oh, we don't need PR yet, which is great, because that means you have a clear understanding on some level. And then when they grow to a place where they need PR, they come back to us. So I would say make sure you're first in a place where you need PR. And you would know that based on all these things we've talked about today, which I will share on our Facebook page. If you have all those things in place and you've done some of the legwork and you've built your brand to a place where you've plateaued, you will know as a small business owner, there's a place where you get to and you realize, all right, I've maxed myself out. I now need a PR company. But do not do it before then, because like I said, PR and marketing costs money. So do not expect to be paying somebody, depending on what they're asking for. PR is not cheap, because it's time that you're paying for. You're paying for the relationships that the PR people have with the media. So you want to make sure that you get yourself together so by the time you pick a PR company, it's worth your money, and they're just doing the best they can for you based on the relationships they have, which makes it so much easier. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So any of you two have questions? Now we can wrap it up.
No?
No, I don't have any questions.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys who logged on.
Thank you guys for logging on to Ask IC. Please, please, please like the Facebook page.
Yes, thank you, Kimberly. I came back. So, yes, like our Facebook page. AskIC.com is coming soon.
And we will see you soon.
And I'm having a feeling that this may be our last Google Hangout. It was fun. Not while it lasted. So,
Yeah, so we look forward to the PR entourage.
Yes.
we may have to switch to a proper webinar and get off Google, because Google is not my best friend. I said it, but not my best friend. So thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, please email me at info@askic.com. Follow us on Facebook at you, as in YOU, askic.com. Facebook.com/YouAskIC, and on Twitter at AskIC. And our YouTube address is my PR company, which is youtube.com/ICYPR. And you see lots of videos that will give you tips on PR for your small business or your personality. Until you need somebody like me, which I'm more than happy to be here for you. And I'm looking forward to you meeting the PR Entourage team because they are amazing, and it's going to be a thrill. You're going to be so glad that you have your own entourage. So you can walk around saying, I have my PR entourage. That's kind of cool. So I hope you join me. Thank you again. And everybody have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you soon on AskIC.com.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye. Thank you, Obi and Kimberly.
Bye.